Very good morning, all of you. Today we are going to start fourth unit in distributed systems. We are going to discuss in today's class. The topic is consistency and replication. Why replicate data is required? For the enhanced reliability, it is required. For the improvement of performance, it is required. Replication. Replicas, that is the replicated data is called replica. Replicas allows remote sites to continue working in the event of local failures. So the replicas, what happens in the remote sites, even in the case of failure, local failure in the system, it will not affect the distributed system. The replicas allows the remote sites to continue working even though it is failure, even though the local system is failure. It is also possible to protect against data corruption. So data corruption will not be there. Replicas allow data to reside close to where it is used. So replica allow data to reside close to where it is used. So it is present in the system where it is going to be used in the distributed system. This directly supports the distributed systems, the goal of enhanced scalability. So scalability will be there in replication. Even a large number of replicated local systems can improve performance. So in clusters, this is what we are doing. It is the large number of replicated local systems will be there. The local systems are increased, so the performance will be improved in this case. Concurrent object access. See how the concurrent object is accessed concurrently in distributed system. See this diagram. There is one server machine, there are two client machines. The two client machines are trying to access present in the object in the server machine. So this is the organization of a distributed remote object shared by two different clients. So the remote object present in the server machine will be shared by two client machines concurrently. So solution for that concurrent object access. See this, the first diagram, the incoming requests are sent to the adapter, then it is given to the skeleton, then it is given to the server. So concurrent invocations will be there, and there will be a mechanism for mutual exclusion, for handling mutual exclusion in the server machine. So the diagram A is the one for a remote object capable of handling concurrent invocations on its own. So the remote object itself handles the concurrent operations. So that is the example for this diagram. A is for a remote object handling the concurrent invocations by its own. That is shown in the diagram A. And diagram B is for a remote object for which an object adapter is required to handle the concurrent invocations. So there will be an adapter in the diagram B That adapter will be handling the concurrent operations, concurrent invocations. Replication and scalability. Replication is a widely used scalability technique. Example is web clients and web proxies. So in web clients, it can be scalable. The web proxies can be scalable. When system scale in the distributed system, the first problem to surface are those associated with performance. So the performance will be a challenging one in distributed system. Since the systems get bigger in the scalability, so the performance always will be less. It will get slower because more users, more systems are getting involved. Replicating the data and moving it to closer to where it is needed helps to solve this scalability problem. So replicating the data and moving that replicating data closer to the machine where it is needed, that helps solving the scalability problem. That is, the performance problem will be reduced. If it is done, the performance will be high. Data centric consistency models. A data store can be read from or written to by any process in a distributed system. A local copy of the data store, which is called a replica. A local copy of the data store, which is called replica, can support fast reads. However, a write to a local replica needs to be propagated to all remote replicas. So when a write is performed to a local replica, that should be propagated to all the remote replicas present in the distributed system. What is a consistency model? Consistency model is a contract between a distributed system data store and its processes. If the processes agree to the rules, the data store will perform properly and as advertised. So let us see what is strict consistency. The strict consistency is defined as any read on a data item X returns a value corresponding to the result of the most recent write on X, regardless of where the write occurred. Consistency model diagram notation. What are the notations used in consistency model diagram? WI of X A is a write by process I, a write by the process I, that is the ith process, to the item X with the value of A. So the A value A is returned into the item X by the ith process. And coming to Ri of X B, which is nothing but a read by process I, that is ith process, from the item X producing the value B. That is, reading X returns B. So in the consistency model diagram, time moves from left to right in all diagrams. Strict consistency diagrams. See this in the diagram A, coming to A, P1 is the process 1, P2 is the process 2. Wx A is nothing but a write occurred that is the value A is written into the item X. Rx of A is nothing but read the value A from the item X. So behavior of two processes operating on same data item. Diagram A shows a strictly consistent data store. The diagram B shows a data store that is not strictly consistent. With strict consistency, all writes are instantaneously visible to all processes, and the absolute global time order is maintained throughout the distributed system. So that diagram A shows strict consistent data store. So diagram B shows the data store which is not strict consistent. Linearizability and sequential consistency. See process 1, process 2, process 3. There are 3 processes. The process P1 executes. The process P1 has 2 statements to be executed, which is X is initialized as 1 and print Y comma Z. And process 2, Y is equal to 1, print X comma Z. Process 3, Z is equal to 1 and print X comma Y. So these 3 processes are executed concurrently. Linearizability and sequential consistency. So 4 valid execution sequences for the processes of the previous slide is given here. See there are 4 execution sequences given. See this first leftmost sequence, X is equal to 1, X is initialized as 1. Now print Y comma Z. What is the value of Y comma Z? X is only initialized, so there is no Y value, Z value, so it is printed as 0 0. So it is printed as 0 0. Then Y is equal to 1, Y is initialized as 1 and print X comma Z. Now X is also already initialized, so X value will be printed as 1, Z value is not initialized, so it is printed as 0. So for the first print Y comma Z, 0 0 is printed. For the second print X comma Z, 1 0 is printed. Then Z is also initialized as 1 and print statement print X comma Y. Now the X value is initialized, Y value is also initialized. So now print 1 1. So the first sequence prints 0 0 1 0 1 1. Similarly, the remaining 3 sequences prints accordingly. So for instance 0 0 1 0 0 1 is not allowed in concurrent operation. And next topic is client-centric consistency models. The previously studied consistency models concern themselves with maintaining a consistent data store in the presence of concurrent read-write operations. So when read-write operations are performed in the data store, it is consistent in the previous consistency model. So here client-centric consistency model, the concentration is given to the client. Another class of distributed data store is that which is characterized by the lack of simultaneous updates. Here the emphasis is more on maintaining a consistent for the individual client process that is currently operating on the data store. So the importance is given to the consistent on the client process. So client centric consistency again, how fast should the update, that is the right operations be made available to read only processes. We have to consider this. Think of most databases, mainly read operations are used, read operations are used in database systems. Think of DNS, domain naming system. Write conflicts do not occur in this particular DNS. Think of www, World Wide Web. As with the DNS, except that heavy use of client-side caching is present in this World Wide Web. Even the return of stale pages is acceptable to most users. These systems all exhibit a high degree of acceptable inconsistency. So here high degree of inconsistency will be there, with the replicas gradually become consistent over time. So when time goes, the replicas will become consistent. Eventual consistency. The only requirement here is that all replicas will eventually be the same. All updates must be guaranteed to propagate to all the replicas eventually in the distributed system when concurrent process occurs. This works well if every client always updates the same replica. Things are a little difficult if the clients are mobile. If the clients are moving, then this is a little difficult. Distribution protocols. Next topic is distribution protocols. Regardless of which consistency model is chosen, we need to decide where, when, and by whom copies of the data store are to be placed. See this diagram. Permanent replicas are there in the middle, in the center, and server initiated replicas are there, client initiated replicas are there. Then the outer circle, dotted circle, represents the clients. Replica placement types. There are three types of replica placement. Permanent replicas. It tend to be small in number, organized as clusters of workstations or mirrored systems. Number 2, server initiated replicas, used to enhance performance at the initiation of the owner of the data store. Typically used by web hosting companies to geographically locate replicas close to where they are needed most. Often referred to as push caches. Client initiated replicas, created as a result of client requests. So these replicas are created as a result of client requests. Think of browser caches. So the browser caches are example for client initiated replicas. Works well. This works well assuming that the cached data does not go stale too soon. Update propagation. When a client initiates an update to a distributed data store, what gets propagated? There are three possibilities. Propagate notification of the update to the other replicas. This is an invalidation protocol, which indicates that the replica's data is no longer up to date. It can work well when there is many writes. Number 2, transfer the data from one replica to another replica. It works well when there is many reads. Third one, propagate the update to other replicas. This is active replication and shifts the workload to each of the replicas upon an initial write. Push versus pull protocols. Push based or server based approach. Sent automatically by the server. The client does not request the update. This approach is useful when a high degree of consistency is needed. So whenever the high degree of consistency is required, this push based approach is used. Often used between permanent and server initialized replicas. Push based client based approach used by client caches. Number 2 is pull based client based approach used by client caches, that is by browsers. Updates are requested by the client from the server. No request, no update. Epidemic protocols. This is an interesting class of protocol that can be used to implement eventual consistency. So for implementing eventual consistency, the epidemic protocols are used. The main concern is the propagation of updates to all the replicas in few number of messages as possible. Here we are spreading updates, not diseases. With this update propagation model, the idea is to infect as many replicas as quickly as possible. Again, epidemic protocol. Server types. Infective replica. A server that holds an update that can be spread to other replicas. Susceptible replica, yet to be updated server. Removed replica, an updated server that will not spread the update to any other replicas. The trick here is to get all susceptible servers to either infective or removed states as quickly as possible without leaving any replicas out. The anti-entropy protocol. Entropy is nothing but a measure of the degradation or disorganization of the universe. Server P picks Q at random and exchanges updates using one of three approaches. Number 1, P only pushes to Q. Number 2, P only pulls from Q. Number 3, P and Q push and pull from each other. The gossiping protocol. This variant is referred to as gossiping or rumor spreading. This works as follows. Number 1, P has just been updated for item X. It immediately pushes the update of X to Q. If Q already knows about X, which is updated, P becomes disinterested in spreading any more updates and it is removed. Otherwise, if the Q is not interested, P gossips to another server as does Q. This approach is good but can be shown not to guarantee the propagation of all updates to all servers. Consistency model diagram notation. What are the notations used in consistency model diagram? WI of X A. Primary based protocols. Each data item is associated with the primary replica here. The primary is responsible for coordinating writes to the data item. There are two types of primary based protocol, remote write and local write. Remote write protocols. With this protocol, all writes are performed at a single remote server. This model is typically associated with traditional client server systems. See this diagram, client is there and backup server is there, data store is there. There are two clients and one single server is there. And what is W and what is R? W1 is write request. W2 is forward request to server for the item X. W3 acknowledge write completed. And W4 again acknowledge a write completed to the client. R1 is read request. R2 is forward request to server for the item X. R3 returns response. R4 returns response to the client. Primary backup protocol. So here also two clients are there. Similar to the previous diagram, two clients are there. One server is there, backup server is there, data store is there. And W1 is write request, W2 forward request to primary, W3 is tell backups to update, W4 acknowledge the update, W5 acknowledge write completed. And coming to R1 read request, R2 is response to read. Local write protocols. In this protocol, a single copy of the data item is still maintained. Upon a write, the data item gets transferred to the replica that is writing. That is, the status of primary for a data item is transferable. This is also called a fully migrating approach. So this is the example for local write protocols. Here number 1, 2, 3, 4 are given. Number 1 is read or write request. Number 2 forward request to current server for the item X. Number 3 move item X to client server. Number 4 return result of operation on client server. Replicated write protocols. With these protocols, writes can be carried out at any replica. Another name might be distributed write protocols. There are two types, active replication and number 2 is majority voting, which is called quorums. Active replication, a special process carried out the update operations at each replica here. Lambos timestamps can be used to achieve total ordering here, but this does not scale well within distributed systems. So scalability will not be there that much in this particular active replication. An alternative is to use a sequencer, which is a process that assigns a unique ID hash to each update, which is then propagated to all replicas. This can lead to another problem, replicated invocations. Active replication, here the client replicates invocation request. All replicas see the same invocation, so the replicated objects will be there. Object receives the same invocation 3 times from B1, B2 and B3. So redundant invocations will be there in C. The problem of replicating invocations. B is a replicated object which itself calls C. When A calls B, how do we ensure C is not invoked 3 times? Solution to that, Diagram A shows using a coordinator for the for B, which is responsible for forwarding an invocation request from the replicated object to C. So diagram A shows a coordinator. There will be a coordinator for the B for forwarding the invocation request to C. The diagram B shows returning results from C using the same idea. A coordinator is responsible for returning the result to all B's. Note the single result returned to A. So here the diagram B shows the returning the result. For that the coordinator is required. Quorum based protocol. Clients must request and acquire permissions from multiple replicas before either reading, writing a replicated item. Consider this example. A file is replicated within a distributed file system. To update a file, a process must get approval from a majority of the replicas to perform a write. The replicas need to agree to also perform the write. After the update, the file has a new version hash associated with it, and it is set at all the updated replicas. To read, a process contacts a majority of the replicas and asks for the version hash of the files. If the version hash is the same, then the file must be the most recent version and the read can proceed. So quorum based protocol, 3 examples of this quorum based protocol. Number A, diagram A is the correct choice of read and write set. Number B is a choice that may lead to write-write conflicts. Diagram C shows a correct choice known as ROA, that is read only, write all.